welcome back to The Watchman. You are joining us right now for the most important episode we have ever done of The Watchman Show. I do not say that lightly. Right now, you're looking at a place, and we are standing at a place, Dalton Thomas and I, that few Americans ever tread. This is the Iraq-Iran border. Dalton, welcome back, and set the scene for us. Maybe someone's just tuning in. Set the scene, reset the scene real quick on where we are right now and why it's so important.
Many people may not know what Kurdistan is. The best way I know how to explain it is to say that it's a pre-state inside of a failed state that is now being incorporated into the Iranian state. That's what Kurdistan is, and we are at the Kurdish Peshmerga base right now that is literally the end of the road in the final frontiers before the IRGC forces, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard forces that are surrounding us right now.
Yeah, and they are literally surrounding us, Dalton. The Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps positions are all around us, and they have the high ground on these mountains. Just so people know, to set the scenery a little bit, you probably hear the wind. We're way up high on top of a mountain. It's windy up here. We're with the Kurdish Peshmerga at their base. It looks like a castle, an ancient castle. Pretty amazing place, but absolutely the Iranian Revolutionary Guards are watching us right now. So you're watching us be watched by the Iranian regime right now. Not a very comforting thought, but this is a story we needed to bring you today for such a time as this. Dalton, if Iraqi Kurdistan, God forbid, were to fall, what happens next? Just so people at home know why this is so important for Americans, for everyone in the Western world, around the world. Iraqi Kurdistan's in the belly of the beast. They are the buffer. They are the first line of defense.
This is actually a very likely scenario that Kurdistan could be overrun. Right here you have Iranian forces, IRGC. 3 hours from here, you have Iranian forces, Hashd al-Shaabi, Shia militias. South of here you have Baghdad, which is fully in the orbit and influence of Iran now. And on the north side, you have Turkey. So the Kurds live in a 24/7, 365 state of threat and potential genocide. And bear in mind, the Kurds have endured genocide after genocide, pogrom after pogrom. So this isn't new for them. In fact, this is a historical continuum that I think the international community needs to make strong efforts right now to break that continuum, because we are on the precipice of another wave of suffering for the Kurdish people if the international community does not intervene and stave off Iranian expansionism, because right now it's out of control.
And you're here in the region frequently doing your great work with Frontier Alliance International. Talk about exclusive access that you've given us here with the Kurdish regional government. Give us some final thoughts, my man, on what's next here and why it's so important.
My wife and I have the privilege of raising our kids here for a number of years before we moved to Israel, where we live, and I split my time between Israel and Kurdistan. And for me, it's an incredible privilege because I see these two peoples as being dynamically connected in their past experiences of persecution from their neighbors, and also bound together in a future struggle by those same neighbors. For those of us who love the Lord, for those of us who love Israel, it's time that we open up our hearts to incorporate the Kurdish people into that, because this is part of the family. And the Kurds want to be incorporated into that. But here's the problem. Right now, if they express that love for us as Americans and as Christians, or to the state of Israel and the Jewish people, they will suffer for it, because no one is there to have their back. And that needs to change, and that's what we're praying for.
We're at probably, folks, the most pivotal crossroads in the entire Middle East, and that is saying something. We're on Iraq's border with Iran. We're staring at Iran right now. Some final thoughts from this pivotal region in the belly of the beast after the break on the Iran border. Do not move.